What's up guys, Rico here. Welcome back to Chibind Brothers. Today we're going to be talking about AMC. I understand a lot of people felt the need to paper hand a little bit, sell their position, especially AMC really dropped down to, to some of the lowest level that we've seen in a very long time. And I feel like a lot of people just felt like, okay, I probably need to get out a little bit and I don't know, maybe cash out, and all got scared and started selling off. But does it really mean that the movement is actually over? Does it really mean there is no squeeze or nothing is ever going to happen with AMC stock? Does it really mean that this is not going to happen? Does it really? I personally don't think so. And I'm going to show you why. I don't think this is over. I'm going to show you why I don't think we haven't seen the last of it just yet. But before I get there, I'm actually also going to show you a little bit of what the overall market kind of looks like, which is what's going to help me also explain what's been going on with AMC. Of course, I understand AMC's been doing its own thing for a little while. It hasn't been going together with the stock market, but lately with everything that's going on, it kind of has to correlate with each other. So I don't want to take too much time, and I really want to make this video really short. So before we get there, please don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so we get video just like this one every single time we post them. So with no further ado, let's get into it. All right, guys. Right now, I have the S&P 500 futures, basically the S&P 500 mini that pretty much track the whole index. And the reason why I opened the S&P 500 first is because I wanted to literally show you something that's really important, something that we've been seeing and something that's been going on. As you can see here, for all the way up to April and all the way up to now, since we are literally in July, you can see what we've been doing. We've been in this new trend, or should I say in this new pattern, after we broke this pattern down here, and then we've pretty much managed to be in this pattern, and we've been in this pattern for quite a while. It's been literally over 2 months that we're basically hitting the top and then coming back to the low, and then playing somewhere in between, hitting the low again and going back to the top, and now guess what, we just hit the low again, and we're kind of doing that. And I understand, especially what happened right here is the fact that they started talking about this Delta variant and everything else, and there's fear in the market. But it's something that you need to understand. Wall Street doesn't always act on fear. Wall Street actually uses a crazy type of news like this, especially bad catalyst, to basically short the market, to act as if they are fearing of what's happening, but in reality they're actually shorting the market to push you, the basically everyday investor, to feel more fear and decide to start paper handing and start selling your position more and more. And especially the ones that you've been holding for a while, especially the ones that they can actually see there is more open interest, there is more volume going into it, and they actually short those ones and then push you to sell even more of your position. It doesn't mean they think the economy is bad. It doesn't mean they think somehow the inflation is going to be so crazy than what the Fed are talking about. It doesn't mean that somehow they're thinking like, oh, you can read all over YouTube like the biggest stock market crash is coming up and all these other things and all these other articles that they put out there through so many different outlets to try and show you all this negativity. It all plays into their hands. It all plays into what they want you to think, and because they have position against it. Just think about it. They won't want to lose money as much as retail investors like you and me usually do. Yes, they do lose money from time to time, but they also manipulate the market a lot, especially when they have to inflict fear to push everybody else to sell so they can buy cheap again and then ride it all the way up to the top. But I don't want to be rumbling too much on this one. The reason I want to talk about this is because I wanted to tell you why I've been saying that, especially the stocks that have a lot of open interest, especially the stocks that have a lot of volume into it, especially because they can tell where there's the money flow. They can tell where everybody is going, especially where the retail investors is sending their money. Why? Well, just think about it for a second. You have people like Citadel. Well, you have Citadel Securities. There is all these, not just them, but even others, or even other hedge funds or other securities where these orders goes through. When we send them as retail investors, just imagine a lot of these platforms that we use, most of them get payments per order flow. And those payment per order flow, just if you think about it for a second, they're actually data that these people are collecting to be able to know where are the retail investors putting more money into it. Where can we try and create more fear to push this thing down? What can we do? So basically, they're trying to see what we're doing so they can make money on top of us. Now, I want to bring you back to AMC, which is literally the subject of this video. Now, do I actually think this movement is gone? No, I don't think so. Do I actually think that we got pushed down all the way to get to these levels? Yes. Do I feel like some people actually felt the fear? Some people actually ended up paper handing and selling their position? Yes, I do feel like some people did. And I understand not everybody is going to be holding, you know, as strong as their neighbor or as strong as someone else. And one person might have just enough patience to wait a little bit longer than the other person. But I understand that this is the stock market and they play with that psychology because they can see what exactly and where exactly we're putting the money, where exactly there's more interest. And here's the game plan. The game plan for this thing, and if you put yourself in their shoes, is to try to delay this thing for as long as possible so that most people that would be willing to hold will start running out of patience. And when your patience runs out, probably the other person need 2 more steps before their patience runs out. And the more they're stalling this thing, the more the other person in line get tired also and probably end up selling because they run out of patience. And then the next, and then the next, and then the next. So the longest you're stalling this thing, the more you're trying to push the idea away from it, the more they're going basically to win this fight. And that's what they want, because if you look at the short interest, there's a lot of short. Just think about it. Think about those shorts that were bought early on when AMC was down into like the $10. Those shorts have not covered. They're still there. So they have been paying the fees for having those short up until now. So the longer they're waiting for this thing to happen, I'm sure they're probably finding ways to coming up with money so they don't have to they don't have to cover right now, because they probably can, and they're probably opening new short position, maybe open them at the higher level and make some money. Like what just happened, we had a pullback, a massive one, basically come up with money if they were to be getting a margin call and to be able to have enough money into their account so they don't literally have to go ahead and cover all those positions. But just think about it that way. So here's one thing that I would like to say. I'm not telling you that this is what you have to do, this is what you have to buy, I'm not telling you that. I'm not a financial advisor, and I'll never tell you what to do with your money. I'm just telling you what I see, and I feel like everybody should actually know, especially if you put your money into something like this. I feel like you deserve to know what these type of games are going on, what they do behind closed doors, why these type of things happen, so that way you can be able to make a decision for yourself if you think it is going to be worth it for you or if it's not. Again, I cannot tell you what to do with your money, but I just want to make sure that, or at least everybody get to know the type of information, the type of practices that are always out there, that they usually, not just in AMC specifically, in many different stocks, they have so many different and some of them I'm not even mentioning right now. Some of them are probably even beyond what I know by myself, because we've been discovering a lot of things. But I just want to be able to everybody know at least what type of practices, what's going on, and why I think this movement is not over. What I think there's still a lot of chance for this thing to move even higher. It all depends on how long we are literally willing to hold and how long we are literally willing to win this battle. And if I'm looking at this chart, for me, it's starting to look like we're making a double dip, because right now, if I'm looking at this one right here, the first dip after the top, and then we got another one here, and then if I pull this one down over here, and then it kind of started to look like a W, kind of a double dip type of thing as we're going through this. And it doesn't matter when you're going to be watching this video, whatever price is going to be. One candle is really not going to change that much right now as far as we're going into the data, but at least I want you to see the bigger picture of where we're going with this. So that's pretty much what I wanted to share with you. show you a little bit about what's going on, what I think is going on, and why I think this thing is not over, even though it got lower. And remember, when things get really low, that's when you get a good deal. And I really do think those who got a chance to buy at the lowest price, well, you pretty much up for something. And even right now, you're probably already up with pretty good amount of money by now if you really did buy the dip. If you ended up pepper handing, hey, again, it's your decision, it's your money, it's what you do with it. Everybody gotta have their own plan. So if you like to invest in the stock market using Webull, please don't forget to sign up using the link in the description below. Sign up and deposit at least $5, and you and I will both get 2 free stock just like that. Thanks guys for watching this video. As for me, as always, I will see you in my next video. Bye bye.